Hey, fellow freaksters, it's Tim from the Moratorium. Just here to remind you that if you enjoy what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe, then rinse and repeat. We're just a couple of small-town nerds trying to make sweet geek love to your ear holes, and we could use your support. Check out our website for movie reviews, links to social media, merch, movies, and more. You can find us at themoratorium.com. Now that that's out of the way, on with the shenanigans. Welcome to the Moratorium. I'm your host, Tim Kornman. Each week I will be joined by some esteemed, and I use that term loosely, movie watchers, and breaking down some of the weirdest and strangest films to ever, not necessarily, grace the big screen. These are the deep dive oddities and backroom bootlegs that appeal only to the die-hard film fans. So sit back and enjoy the ride into the dark vault of the movie Moratorium. All right. Well, dude, I have so many tabs open because
it just went down one rabbit hole after another.
Oh my God. Great on Clark's.
God, dude.
History and
his trail of broken dreams, broken promises. And to be fair, his name is Grey Dawn.
Yes.
I know that probably caused a lot of trauma for him when he was a young boy.
Well, I tried to make a connection, and we'll talk about it here in a minute because...
like on Tinder?
Yeah. No, Grindr.
Grindr, right.
He's not on Grindr. I tried.
Yeah. Thank God. Nobody needs to know.
No, I'll bring this another guy up, a stunt man later.
Oh, I saw a couple of good stunts in here. I want to say I saw this lead girl. I'm just going to call her Braids.
Braids?
I don't know what I think that's Tara Nutter, which, come on, that is a funny name.
Was she the final girl?
I assume so because it doesn't show, she just doesn't have a profile picture.
Right. Well, the girl's name, is Sandy. Sandy and Greg.
Sandy, right.
Sandy!
Oh, God. That scene, I heard the same Travolta thing, too, when he's like, he's in a bar just kind of hanging out. And okay, we'll get to it, but I don't know why Jack Palance carries her in. Like she's a 3-year-old or something.
I don't want to know what he did to her in the woods.
Exactly. God.
This movie is awesome.
This movie is just a parade of weird faces, is all it is.
Oh.
It's just one weird face after another. And you have to just sit there and deal with it.
Yes. It
holds you down and shows you things.
My first note on my page here says old-fashioned crag off.
The faces?
Yes.
Face crags?
Oh, face crags.
Yeah, there's a lot of face work going on in here.
There's no makeup. No, it's all natural.
Needed some makeup. Neville Brand by himself needed a couple of good hours in the chair. They're like, okay, well, your nose has completely collapsed and is running down your face. So we'll probably prop that up with some popsicle sticks or something.
Can we get some Bondo in here somewhere?
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't had a good treatment in a while.
So to let everybody know, we are watching Without Warning, 1980.
Yes. Yeah, it's a little older than... I guess I just didn't realize that it, was almost in the 70s, But then you look at it and it's like, well, Corman did the same kind of movies. They were just in black and white instead of color. So It has a Corman quality to it.
It's a simple plot.
Right, exactly. I was thinking the same thing. Not a lot like subtleties going on.
Not a lot of actors.
No. Well, let's, I guess, like, describe the movie, because I don't like the main character. What is his name? The younger guy.
Christopher S. Nelson or Greg.
Okay. Greg.
He really reminded me of Matthew Starr.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Kind of had that look.
He looks familiar, but then again, he just looks like every other guy in every other like slasher movie, you know. He's not, I mean, I hate to say this, he's not attractive. You know, his face looks like, I think I've said this before, but it's like those Thumb movies, you know, where they just kind of like superimpose the eyes and lips, and he looks like his eyes and lips aren't concrete on his face, like they can move around and stuff. I guess that's it.
Somebody superimposed his face onto his face.
Right,
yes.
Exactly, but slightly smaller. You know, like the eyes are slightly too... It looks like a Tim and Eric video where they've just shrunk his facial features down, and then his head is like the size of a watermelon, and they put a wig on it.
All right, so let's get this party started, because we have a lot to talk about.
Oh my God, I have a lot to talk about just during the credits.
So let's start it off with welcome to the Moratorium.
Welcome. Come in. Just brush that seat off.
Yes. Sorry for the crumbs. It may be a little sticky. You might want to bathe afterwards.
Yeah. Here's a towelette.
All right. I'm your host, Tim Kornman. And with me, as always, is Jason Walker.
Hey. Yeah, I am.
Hey.
Always.
And still, Jason Walker.
Always and still. That's
going to be on your tombstone. Not from your grave. No, your pizza.
Oh, my pizza?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What do you want on your tombstone?
We need to bring that back. Hey, so, without warning, 1980.
This is your pick.
This was my pick. I watched this movie so long ago when I was a kid and had such fond memories of it. And it's because of these alien sucker discs, the alien frisbee sucker discs.
They sort of look like flying Jimmy Dean, like breakfast biscuits or something, until you get closer.
And you can see the string that's holding them up.
Well, you always see the string. There's never not a string. I mean, literally one part of it was like, you could almost see someone's hand giving it a good spin before they like sent it on that little thing, you know? I mean, Roger Corman stuff looked better than this.
They didn't put a whole lot into it. They really didn't.
No.
Graydon got his friends to come in and star in this film.
Right.
And I read that it was filmed within 3 weeks.
That comes through loud and clear.
But Cameron Mitchell and Larry Storch, they were in for half a day.
Yeah, they shot their scenes and then got out of it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of interesting stuff just in the credits before you even see Cameron Mitchell. Music by Dan Wyman. Did you
No.
Did you notice that?
No, who's that guy?
Dan Wyman is he's part of
he was in the music department for Halloween, The Fog, Lawnmower Man.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he's a contemporary of, like, John Carpenter, if he's working on John Carpenter movies, then...
He composed the music for Hell Night.
Oh, yeah.
And Midnight Express. Synthesizer programmer.
Yeah, he has a weird credit in this, too.
Midnight Express was known for its synth music, wasn't it?
Just beautiful. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that, Electronic Realization by Dan Wyman. Wow. So he's like speaking to the keyboards. Like he's just got them like plugged into his head. Electronic Realization. I don't even know what that means.
No, that is a 0 credit course at State College.
Yes, it's like basket weaving or something. He composed the music for Lawnmower Man. So that alone should get him
a token for the subway.
On a blacklist.
Blacklist.
Yeah, exactly. I just have written on the first page of my notes, Great on Clark sucks, and 3 exclamation points. I've watched so many of his movies simply because they were, like Mystery Science Theater movies. They've done a lot of his movies. They did, the Italian Mitchell, whatever the hell that was called.
Final Justice.
Final Justice. Larry Storch is in this movie, too.
Mm-hmm. He's the reason we got to this movie.
There's a scene coming. It's pretty early into the movie when he's the Cub Scout, leader. And there were whole minutes where I just found something else to do while he was providing, quote, comic relief, unquote. That was so painful to watch. My wife is just... We were excited, because it's an 80s sci-fi movie. We love that type of thing, When he got through with his shtick, it was just like, well, you want to just set the TV on fire and move to a different... just leave all of our stuff here and just go wander the night.
He said something about when he found the Winnebago and he's banging on it, I could use some help here. My blisters are killing me. And I was just like,
no.
Where are your blisters? I don't want to know.
No. And also, I'm reporting you to the local authorities.
You should not be the head of a Boy Scout troop.
No. Those kids are for sure dead in this movie, right?
No, I'm. If not because of the alien.
No, just
because
exposure. Yeah. The writing, quote unquote writing, is like so weird. I mean, in this opening scene, which goes on way too long before you see any type of sci-fi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Cameron Mitchell, wearing 2 different kinds of camo and smoking a cigar, has taken his son... Question mark?
Middle-aged son.
It's basically, he's a gigolo. And for some reason, Cameron Mitchell wanted to take him out in his 30s and teach him how to hunt or something. But yeah, he looks like just a drug dealer from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Darby Hinton. And I recognized him right off the bat because he is... in at least one of these Andy Sedaris movies,
Okay.
I think Malibu Express is one of them. Picasso Trigger. Don't you remember these on like Cinemax? They're sort of like low impact action movies that are really just like...
I remember the box for Malibu Express.
Yes. And that's him. He's the main character in that movie.
Okay.
It's just an excuse for the writer-director, Andy Sedaris, to just, I assume, do mountains of cocaine, like Scarface levels of cocaine, and just bang all these girls that he's managed to convince to be in these movies. But anyway, I saw that stash, and I was like, I know that mustache from somewhere.
That.
So the first bit of dialogue in this movie is Cameron Mitchell trying to wake up his gigolo son who is asleep in a Winnebago.
And the gigolo says, "Oh, just 5 more minutes." He's like, I've already had 4 pots of coffee and...
Okay. But now the most important thing he says to this gigolo is, let's get up and, start shooting animals. Hubba hubba. He says... Now, I want to be perfectly clear about this. He says, the sun's just beginning to peak. Hubba hubba, boy. Let's get on with it. Okay? That's like what they said in the, 50s or something when they saw like a pretty girl.
Yeah.
And he's saying it to a gigolo who's asleep in a Winnebago, who happens to be his son. Then he finally gets up. He is clothed only in a gold necklace and gold wristband thing. Well, I guess his mustache is kind of clothing his face, too. Then he says something like, let's get on with it. Hubba hubba. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I think they thought that it meant what? Like,
I think that they thought that there was a script
oh,
when they got to the set, and when they realized that Graydon said, okay, this is what you're going to do.
Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, just say hubba hubba.
I read in the trivia here for Without Warning that one of the girls, I think the main girl.
Braids? Are we talking about braids?
Braids, yeah. That she was cast like the day before.
If we're talking about braids.
Yes, Tara Nutter.
Yeah, I think this is her like one and only credit, isn't it? Or she's
been in a few things.
Really?
But not enough to put a picture on IMDb, though.
I guess not.
But it says here she was cast one day before shooting began.
Yeah, that is very clear. Her performance is very odd in this movie. There's a scene later, that kid with the scrunched up face.
Christopher Nelson.
Yeah, Christopher Nelson. Chris. They start laughing in the car when that thing is trying to get in. Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so awkward.
Yeah, very odd. That's exactly what I thought. Is like,
use your windshield
awkward.
Wipers.
Yeah.
And then they're like, ha, 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 it worked.
Yeah, they become like the Coke kicked in. And it's like, oh, this isn't so bad. It looks like when you take the egg out of a like microwave breakfast biscuit.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay, here's what you do. Take the egg part out of a breakfast biscuit. Put a bunch of Cameron Mitchell's hair on top of it. And then just stick some like candy corn on the bottom. You're going to want to get a highly visible fishing line and
20-pound test.
Spin it. Yeah, that'll do. Whatever Walmart sells for the cheapest. And then just spin that and follow that with the camera.
That's it.
And then push like Twizzlers out of it.
Actually, I think that was the best part.
For sure.
I mean, but granted, they kept showing it over and over again.
Over and over.
Yes, it was the same shot, just over and over.
Right. And it really does look like, it looks like roadkill. But that's what I was going to say. This is a very similar, the way those things act. It's very similar to a Roger Corman movie called It Conquered the World.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one with the big pickle monster. But before you see the pickle monster, there's these like, they're like flying tortillas, and they attach themselves to the back of somebody's neck, and they kind of like a puppet master situation. So,
all right. Well, to further explain this film, in IMDb trivia, the movie was made for $150,000.
Okay.
Of which $75,000 went to Jack Palance and Martin Landau's salaries. Yeah. So they had $75,000 to work with over 3 weeks.
And I know we'll talk about it later when Martin Landau is actually introduced. I've read before that he won't turn down a movie or something. Like he will take all offers. There's something like that I've some trivia about him.
And he's wonderful in this. He is.
You can't say that he's not giving it 100%.
Man, he is so out there.
He is. Him with long hair is pretty disturbing. It makes him look even crazier.
Here in another trivia, the alien head was created by special effects makeup artist Rick Baker. Okay. According to the producer and writer, Daniel Grodnick, it cost $19,000 to have Rick Baker make the alien head.
Wow. And this is, what had he done up to that point? This is 79, right? Or 80?
It came out in 80, so 79 was, yeah.
Yeah, so he hadn't done a lot of stuff up to that point, I don't think, right?
I have not looked enough into Rick Baker's career.
I will.
All right. Get on it. And
you just kind of talk.
all right.
Vamp for a
So, how are things going?
Just don't talk about the movie.
So, hey, Hubba Bubba.
It's Hubba.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got the gum.
If it had been gum,
It would have been better.
like product placement or something, I would have understood it more than them just saying Hubba Hubba to each
If he
other.
just held up a pack of gum next to his face and smiled with a wink,
Right.
with a little ding of retsin off his teeth or something.
I am so hungover that I might need to actually go to the hospital, but got that pack of Hubba Bubba gum, and that's going to get me through it.
Well, let's continue on with the film for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to say that that our guy, our gigolo, after he gets dressed,
Which he's dressed in bell bottoms and a shirt that all the buttons are on because it's never buttoned up.
so he goes down to the stream and complains about the water. He drinks some of the water. This tastes a little funny. Well, it looks like it's almost stagnant water. I don't think you're supposed to drink directly from the stream.
Right. Maybe it's the chicken plant that's up on the hill that's just like their shit is just flowing into this thing. That might give it kind of a weird tang.
McNuggets. So he buttons his shirt and they're going hunting.
Found all the buttons.
I don't know
Yeah.
what they're hunting for. They don't state anything. His dad actually takes one shot over
right
his shoulder.
ear.
Yeah. He's like pointed the gun next to his ear to shoot a bird.
Yeah. And it comes up again, too. He isn't quite sure if he wants to have a bonding moment with his son or kill him.
Yeah, he looks at his son and points the gun at him, thinking, I can end this right now and probably say that it was an accident. There's nobody around. I'm not going to wait for an alien to come and do this for me.
Right. Yeah, that was bizarre to me.
And this is Cameron Mitchell. I mean, he is a well-known actor.
He's been in a gajillion movies. I mean, granted, I know him solely from MST movies, but still.
Kevin Peter Hall, this is one of his first credits. I think he had one more credit before this. But he also came back around to do Predator, Predator 2.
One of us needs to do a deep dive on him in one of these mini-sodes.
Well, there's not a whole lot because he died such a young age.
Right.
But, yeah.
But he was like basically every monster for a short period of time in the 70s and 80s.
So, very good stuff.
Yeah. Man, that'd be a dream, I think. Like, well, I mean, you'd have to sit and get in all that makeup and stuff, but like, I like it that he's like main monster. He's the monster guy.
Mm-hmm. He went by Kevin Hall in this film, but his other credits are Kevin Peter Hall.
Well, and he's brothers with Anthony Michael.
Right.
Separated at birth.
Let's see. He was 7 foot 2.5 tall.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah. Anyway, we can talk about him later. We're going to see him later briefly.
Yeah, boy, they really hold out on showing you him at least until, I mean, getting into the last like 30 minutes of the movie.
There's a small shot that shows him in some deep thicket here in just a minute, but you barely see him, but the perspective makes him look like he's 4 foot tall. He's like a mini me, because you can't tell how high the grass is around him.
Yeah. Which is probably doesn't have the effect that they were going for. You know what's scarier than somebody who's really tall? Somebody that's really short.
That's right. Without Warning is Kevin Hall's second film. His first, and I looked this up last night and I had to tell Todd about it because he didn't even know this.
Mm-hmm.
He played the mutant bear in Prophecy.
What?
Exactly. That was his first credit.
That is crazy. Like, I can't imagine someone being in that thing, That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Man, we need to, so many movies, but we need to do that one. That would be a great one.
Yeah, maybe we should try to do this film.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There is one currently that we're doing. I'm at 5 minutes. I'm kind of watching the movie, and I'm at 5 minutes.
I'm at 5:44.
Oh, God.
And this is right where he points the gun at his son.
Yes.
And it's like, I can just take him out. He's not paying attention. He's playing with rocks by the stream.
He is like a little kid. I kind of feel for Cameron Mitchell in this. It's like one shot would just...
Immediately after he tries to shoot his son, you see our flying discs.
Yeah.
And really that first shot of that flying disc with that hair on it.
Yes.
I think I wrote down, is this what Waffle House employees, they throw around the pancakes at the end of the night, the ones that had fallen on the floor?
Yep. And then if one gets on you, that's it.
Yep.
It just drives those Twizzler things into your neck.
And that's really it. It sticks to his side of his face, and then tentacles just kind of start sucking. I enjoyed that.
Oh, yes, definitely. I do like the look of it. I mean, they're basically just like mixing like honey Dijon mustard and like cocktail sauce or something. Mm-hmm. I do like anything like that. Their reaction shots when those things are coming at them. I mean, they're screaming, and it's like, well, they're just slap them down. You can see it coming at you. Just slap it to the ground.
They're not spinning most of the time.
No, they're just stationary. And why aren't you grabbing at it? You know,
no, they don't. Nobody grabs at it.
No, nobody thinks, hey, this thing's on me and it hurts.
Mm-hmm. Later, Jack Palance gets one to the leg, and he just goes down like he has been hit with a baseball bat.
Exactly.
And he leaves it on his leg. He tries to get up and run away. It's just strange.
Unless it's like pumping like something that's making them drowsy or something. Because if it's not that, then they're just... It's like they've never seen a sci-fi movie before. Mm-hmm. Get that thing off of you. Okay, now, I know you're going to say the same thing. At least I hope you are. So we're ending the very first scene, the cold open of the movie. Cameron Mitchell is... I mean, it doesn't even really tell you, like... You don't know what happens to Cameron Mitchell, I guess.
Or the guy.
Cameron Mitchell goes down with the thing on his face. And the guy, I guess, is reacting to... He's supposed to be... There's a lot of, like, reaction shots where they don't even show you... If you've seen a sci-fi movie before, you know that those things are controlled by another thing, you know? And he's kind of looking off screen at something. It might be just weird that it's in broad daylight.
Maybe so.
These things usually don't happen. Doesn't he kind of scream at the end?
Kind of. He raises the shotgun, which you've already had the shot where he emptied the shotgun.
Right. And just like filled it with rocks or like crawdads or something. He's not a bright person. You only know him for 7 minutes. But
he comes towards his son.
Yeah.
Who just basically stands up and just
I mean, he just was contemplating shooting him with a 12 gauge. So now he's like, nope.
So turnabout is fair play. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, you know,
I guess you're going down.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I can handle of that scene. Maybe we'll talk about it later. So, finally, girls in bikinis.
Girls in bikinis.
You know who else is wearing a bikini, or might as well be? Fucking David Caruso in the shortest shorts. It's like he bought little kid, like Junior's shorts,
yep.
Washed them in hot water, and then dried them, and then they shrunk another size.
And then pulled him up to his belly.
Yeah, and then tucked his shirt into them. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God. This movie should be called Those Shorts.
Those Shorts. I thought he was going to have a bigger role in this film.
That's not what I thought.
And I'm glad he didn't.
Oh, yeah, no.
No, I thought he was going to have a bigger package in this film, too. But
it's like it's just poking out of the bottom.
Which, if he had any more of a package, they would be hanging out those shorts.
You would see a ball, at least.
I expected to later because there's a shot where they're getting ready to go swimming and he's sitting on a rock and his shorts are so high, his ass is the only thing touching that rock. No shorts whatsoever.
No material in between his skin and the rock.
No.
Everybody in this is weirdly attired.
Mm-hmm.
California could explain that, but like he's wearing like a cardigan and baby shorts. The other guy, oh my God, that guy's name is Greg, right?
Yes.
Did you see that he has a fucking belt buckle that says Greg?
No, I didn't. That's hilarious.
Pause it when they're looking at the dead bobcat, and you can see it bigger in life.
Oh, I'm not even there yet. I'm still them getting into the van.
Right.
Which is a cool, this is a cool 70s van.
I wouldn't go that far. It looks like it's been, you would get an STD if you like put your hand on the shag carpet in the back.
Which I'm confused on the seating arrangement.
Yeah.
Because when they start going down the dirt road, they're just bouncing around in the back like...
And giggling. Yeah. I actually have whiplash now, and it's fun.
My spinal cord.
And also the girl, again, she's wearing a sweater, a bikini top, and like some slacks, like business slacks. I don't know.
So they're just driving. Does it even set it up that why?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a fun... It's two guys and two girls. David Caruso is definitely with the other girl. Right. Although why she hasn't made him change shorts, I don't know.
His shorts are way shorter than her shorts.
Oh, yeah.
And she's wearing Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And he is not... He's just David Caruso.
He's 24 in this.
Oh, my God. Yeah, is this his first movie? I think it is, actually.
Maybe.
Braids is kind of weird looking because, not weird looking, but I can't tell if she's 19 or 30.
Yeah.
Because she makes some faces like make her seem older. All right, so if I keep on wanting to say Walter Matthau instead of Martin Landau. That's because they rhyme, kind of. So we've already got Cameron Mitchell. You've got crazy Walter... Oh my God, I'm going to do it again. Martin Landau, who is a Korean veteran, I think.
They said he's mixed up. He doesn't know exactly where he is half the time. Right.
His name is Sarge.
Yes.
Martin Landau won an Oscar.
Not for this.
Not for this.
Let's be clear here. Not for this.
His face, it's like there wasn't enough Martin Landau, so they got Jack Palance to stagger in for a while.
But Jack Palance looks like he's wearing a hairpiece.
That's for sure a wig. Not very well applied either.
And his acting in this, I don't know. Maybe this is his acting in every movie.
No.
But the heavy breathing between words.
Yes. Yeah. That's his...
He is struggling for oxygen.
Well, he's also drunk, which I think has a lot to do with it.
Well, I mean, I'm just here for my 36.50.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
My half of the 75 with Landau.
Yep.
Or Mathau, whatever.
See? I just think it's funny that he's kind of the crazy Ralph, right?
I think Landau would be more of a crazy Ralph.
Right.
This could have been the same character.
That's exactly what I was thinking. They basically have 2 or 3 of the same character.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Palance is like a Van Helsing kind of. He knows that these things are out there, right? I had a hard time following the plot.
Well, yes, because Jack Palance shows that he has a scar on his left arm.
Which presumably is one of the...
Yeah, because I think he said he was attacked by it before.
Okay.
But he doesn't seem to at least adhere to the same nonsense gibberish that Landau. They're not connecting that this is the same alien that they're both talking about.
That's what I needed to know. And I'm glad that neither one of us know the answer to that. Yeah, that confused the hell out of me.
Basically, so our kids are going to the lake, a lake, which really kind of looked like out of Creepshow 2 when they finally get there.
Right.
I was only hoping.
Yeah, no one else is around. They are the only...
And IMDb trivia says that this was filmed in December. So the water was freezing.
Great. So this was a good experience for everybody involved.
Another reason for those shorts to be hiked up as far as they were.
But that makes sense now that he had a cardigan on. It's like, man, these shorts. Ooh.
They stopped off at this roadside gas station, last chance gas station, to try to steal gasoline that was from Jack Palance's, I guess this was his place.
Okay, because I missed that completely too.
Okay, yeah, because he has all sorts of different, very aged
stuff. Taxidermy.
Boar's head, taxidermy heads and shit on the wall.
And a giant spider web. I don't know why all 4 of those kids just cram themselves into that tiny little... I mean, if you look through the window, you'd be like, oh, well, no one's walked in here for years. Maybe possibly a decade. And then they all cram themselves in there, and then Jack Palance walks out. What was he doing in there?
I don't know. He was in the bathroom at first, wasn't he?
That was Landau when he saw the stuff graffitied on the...
That's it. But that he repeats 6 or 7 times in the film.
He lost himself in this role.
He went all in. He helped himself to the craft services cocaine table.
Cocaine, scotch, poppers.
And donuts.
Ludes. Larry Storch was definitely on something. His performance in this, the guy from F Troop. His performance is amazing.
Now a scoutmaster.
God, I would not let my kid within the same city limits as Larry Storch. He doesn't look good. I don't know when Larry Storch passed away. There's no way he's still alive.
No.
But he is kind of bleary-eyed, and I think he's got a rash.
He is still alive.
Wow.
He was born in 23, so he is 97.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap. He does not know he's still alive. Last thing he starred in was a TV series, 2010.
Okay.
These kids that he's leading down this very shallow creek, the same shallow creek from the beginning.
Yes, and it looks like it doesn't look good for hunting, which is what they were doing.
Nope.
It also doesn't look good for hiking.
Nope.
It's like a runoff, like a... it's just not a fun place to, like, bring a bunch of kids.
It doesn't look very friendly for camera and equipment either.
No, it does not. Because Cameron Mitchell earlier was trying to, like... There's a guy with a camera right next to him, and then it's basically trying to keep from, like, swatting him with branches and stuff. But Larry Storch is truly awful.
He tells these kids to find some rocks to take home.
Yeah.
So they end up, I think they're throwing rocks at each other.
It devolves into rock throwing immediately when he walks off.
Immediately. But you don't hear the kids or anything.
They, like, blocked out that sound?
I guess.
Okay, so...
They're gone.
So, how are you watching this? What are you...
I am watching this on Daily Motion.
Okay.
Which is not an HD quality, which is fine with me because I think this movie...
would only suffer from
better when it's grainy.
Yeah, I agree. I'm watching it in, like, full high def, and what's like a runoff creek in high definition. It still just looks like like there's syringes and 6-pack rings. I guess I just kind of missed it. You do see another creature, but it's like the cameraman can't quite work up the energy to walk up a few feet and get a better shot at it. Did you see it? Like kind of a little bulbous
creature head?
Yes, creature head. Okay. Thought I was going nuts.
So Larry Storch walks up to the Winnebago that he sees there, tries to get their attention, decides to have a cigarette, in which he doesn't have a lighter, so he's going to use a rock. Not necessarily a flint rock.
No.
But just a rock.
Mm-hmm. And just kind of like
Can you do that? Can you light a cigarette with a flint? Maybe if it was a flint, but not the way he was doing it. Obviously, these kids are doomed.
We need to get Mythbusters on this and see if you can actually create fire just by clicking two rocks together, and neither one of them's flint.
Larry Storch is hit by 2 of the flying discs to the back.
Boom.
And I enjoy the sound of the slurping and it's not an alien sound.
Larry Storch eating pudding. And they're just like, okay, Larry, we're going to lay down and just do that pudding thing again. Yeah. And then the kids, literally the kids are like throwing rocks at each other's faces. They've completely devolved into madness.
And one kid goes off like he's going to go take a leak.
Yeah, I just watched that, and he's looking for rocks, right?
I don't know.
I didn't get what he was supposed to be doing.
Nope, he just sees the shadow.
Right.
He looks up and screams because I guess he sees the alien.
Oh my God, that scream, which that kid did not deliver. It's just all of their vocals are like in ADR, but he screams like, it sounds like a howler monkey. It sounds like one of those fake like Wilhelm screams, you know?
I really thought it was a group of Girl Scouts.
Yeah, that one kid is just a girl dressed up and like has her hair tucked into her hat.
But all that seemed like just to be a setup, because after the kids run away, there's a slow panning shot which you see the van going off in the distance. So it was just trying to set up that this is the same area.
Okay.
Per se. But I want to know, I mean, why did they have to go by the creek in the beginning?
Yeah.
Why have 2 different settings?
I don't know.
Just have it by the same lake. These kids could be...
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah. Why they chose just a, like, where you're for sure going to see Coke cans and stuff just, like, flowing down. Like, they picked the ugliest part of the... I really don't know. And also don't care.
Good point.
But yeah, you still don't get to see this thing yet.
No, you won't see the alien till way later.
Yeah.
They spent so much money on this alien head, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
I dig it. Why? Yeah, exploit it.
Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. So what's next? Kids run off. I assume they die from exposure. And also like broken ankles.
Dysentery.
Yeah, exactly. The gigolo's definitely going to get dysentery from just like... My first instinct when I'm camping is not just to go straight to a small stream and just...
I'm at 22 minutes into the film.
Okay.
Oh, it's amazing that 22 minutes have gone by. Nothing has really happened.
No, that's why I was texting you. This is so boring.
They get the van to the lake, and they're immediately going to go swimming. David Caruso is sitting on this rock. Look at him. I mean, he's obviously pulled those shorts up like it was a thong.
Yeah, and is like, hey, you're welcome, you know?
Yeah.
I'm here all night, guys.
I'm also with the lighting department.
Exactly. I have to put some gaffer tape on my nutsack so it doesn't fall out the bottom of my shorts. Could we get some more gaffer tape for David? His balls are hanging out. This guy, this dork that they take with them, it doesn't seem like he is there online to bang him in braids. Because that's what's happening is David Caruso and his girlfriend.
And they're immediately making out in the lake. And they're like, you want to go for a walk?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all the acting is real awkward.
The remainder of the movie between those two, there is no connection.
No.
It is...
You don't know whether that's his sister, a girl that he's caring for because she's obviously has problems.
There's a scene later, and I'll talk about it, that when she twists her ankle,
yeah.
And they're trying to make it to that house,
Yeah.
And he's like trying to help her walk by walking sideways with her, with his hand on her stomach and a hand on her back or something, and helping instead of. It was like the most awkward way to walk.
Yeah. It looks like they're doing like one of those 3-legged races, but they don't have to. Nobody's making them do that. They just decided it was something fun to try. Yeah, that scene where they're running made my wife and I laugh.
That's good. I thought I read somewhere that the alien had psychokinetic powers. I don't see that anywhere in this film, so I don't know where I read that.
But other than I guess he is controlling those little things. So he does have power over those things.
Where is he hiding those things, by the way?
I don't know.
So did you notice David Caruso and his girlfriend, they get out of the lake and they start making out.
They're going to straight up have sex just out in the open.
On a Star Wars blanket. On a little kid's Star Wars fleece blanket.
Let's put stuff from a much better and more popular movie in our shitty movie that you can't stop looking at. Oh yeah, dude. I had a blanket like that when I was a kid and rolled over onto a floor heater.
Oh, and immediately caught on fire.
Yeah, immediately. They were trying to kill us back then.
Larry Storch could have used that to light his cigarette.
Yeah, he could have. It just spontaneously combust. The guy that becomes the main character, the main protagonist, Greg, his shorts aren't any better. It's just that his shirt covers them up right after they get out of the lake. But yellow is even more
disturbing.
Disgusting is what I call it.
So they go for a walk just so David Caruso and his girlfriend can make out.
Can bang.
They're gone for like 3 minutes. And he actually says, he's like, well, you want to head back? They should be done by now.
I've timed their sex in the past, and I know that they'll be done by. Last time I watched them have sex, it was over in 10 minutes.
Including the cigarette.
Yes. Another weird clothing, can't tell if it's hot, cold. He's wearing like a uglier, like Marty McFly puffy vest.
Yeah.
It's just so unappealing.
I find a lot of choices in this movie just a little strange. So they go back to the van to try to find if David Caruso and his girlfriend are making out in the van. And they're not there either.
Did it just cut away from them making out?
Cut away to them, to the other two, Greg and Sandy, on their little hike.
Right. Through, it's just mud, and it just looks like, hey, there's the dead fish that we saw earlier. We must be just walking around in a circle. Oh, and she just falls into, a bear trap. Why is that there?
Martin Landau has been digging these holes to trap the alien. Okay. When they walk off, they're trying to find their friends and they have no luck. They walk off. She falls into this pit, which is
probably 10 feet, 12 feet.
Yeah, it should have had spikes underneath.
Right. If he's really going like Predator on this thing, she would be dead.
Because it has to be 8 foot deep.
No, I would say more than that.
It's a deep hole.
Yeah, she should have shattered her ankles when she... Mm-hmm. Instead, she just looked slightly disappointed.
I read in the trivia, she did her own stunt.
Wow.
For that fall.
Okay.
So they see the water shack, right?
Yeah.
She falls into the hole. He helps her back up. They see that water shack. Okay, now if Martin Landau has been digging these holes...
Uh-huh.
And he's that close to the watershed.
Yes.
How did he not find the alien?
I don't know.
Just asking.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because the alien had been in and out of this shit.
Oh, yeah. That's where he's hiding these bodies. So they go to check out this water shack. My wife made me promise to sing this. I apologize to everybody out there.
Oh, no.
But the water shack is a little old place where we can die together.
That's where I thought that was going.
Yeah.
It does have a tin roof, and it does look rusted.
In the trivia, they built this shack. This is where the rest of the money for the whole production went to. They built this shack.
Okay, we have $45,000 left. Can you guys just screw some plywood together?
But I find this pretty interesting. So this is supposed to be where he's hiding the bodies. So is the alien feeding on these bodies?
Unclear.
You see somebody. Was it Gigolo Boy?
Yeah, his eye is gone.
And he's got some mustard or some
condiment.
Yeah, it's honey mustard dripping from his eye socket.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another shot. Was it Larry Stork? He's got a hole in his top of his head.
Yeah, so does Cameron Mitchell. Has a hole in where, like... But yeah, I mean, that looks more like the little things are maybe doing that type of damage. And
I wondered... Oh, there's your three-legged race. Let go of her. She can run by herself.
She would run so much faster if you would let go of her. But if we haven't learned anything from these movies, especially like pre-80s, no woman can have forward momentum unless there is a man either grabbing her arm or pushing her with their hand on their back. They can't be trusted to walk by themselves.
That's it. There's, 5 or 6 bodies in this shack.
Yeah. Barely room for the camera to be in there with everybody.
So David Caruso does his nice little falling forward, honey mustard dripping out of his mouth. His girlfriend is hanging in the corner, and she's topless.
Almost see a nipple.
It would have been an easy, cheap shot.
Yeah.
To give us a little bit of boobs, and no.
Yeah. Have you never seen a Roger Corman movie? This is how you keep them watching. Because honestly, that's all you've got going right now is that maybe those girls are going to get naked.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're definitely not thinking like this is a good movie. That scene where he figures out how to start a car and work the windshield wipers.
This goes on forever. Him just looking for keys.
Forever.
I don't know what he's trifling through. And he's like touching his knees. Like, nope, there's no keys here. There's no keys in my knees.
Yeah. David Caruso didn't put those into my pocket while I wasn't looking. He's obviously the owner and driver.
Maybe I should check my Martin McFly jacket. No, nothing in my vest. I will say, when they ran away from the shack, it was full on daylight.
Yes.
And they must have been running for hours to get back to this van at complete dusk.
The geography and the time of day is completely... You have no idea what's what.
So you got one of the disc things that's attached to the windshield.
Yeah. I guess it can smell people in there because otherwise it's just...
It keeps squirming and working its teeth. That actually looks pretty damn cool. We just talked about that. Here it's in trivia that the extreme close-up shots of the flying creatures digging into various people were filmed by a 3-person crew in Graydon Clark's garage.
That's depressing. I'm speechless.
Okay, David Caruso's girlfriend is Lynn Thiel.
Okay.
Theel.
Okay.
Okay, and she's been in a handful of films, including Humanoids from the Deep.
Oh, okay.
Same year, if you're going to bring up Corman.
Mm-hmm. It's a good flick. Rob Bottin did the special effects for that.
I was looking at this as well. Rob Bottin, actually, he played one of the humanoids.
Ooh.
Yes.
I mean, if you've ever seen the movie, it's fish people having sex with human women. Really like sex. Like missionary style sex. It's weird.
Lynn Thiel was also in a movie called Fire, Fyre. And she played one of the kids in Jaws 2.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and we brought up that she was also in a movie called Grotesque with Linda Blair.
Right.
And Tab Hunter.
can see that cover, but I don't know it right off the top of my head.
So, just interesting little stuff here. Grotesque also has Robert Zadar in it.
Okay.
That's why we brought it up before. But she was also in Schizoid.
Okay. Man.
Kind of sounds boring, but Klaus Kinski, Donna Wilkes, Craig Wasson.
Oh, man.
Christopher Lloyd. Interesting little cast.
Who did you say before Christopher Lloyd?
Craig Wasson.
Right. Okay.
But Donna Wilkes is also in a movie called Blood Song, 1982. Down on the list here, so there's a whole lot of nobody in this. Frankie Avalon's in it. But there is a guy by the name of Roy Don Clark.
Okay.
And I mean, Gray Don Clark and Roy Don Clark, you would think these guys would have to be brothers.
Sure.
I cannot find any information that supports this.
Huh.
Roy Don Clark, a prolific stuntman.
Okay.
Who did stunts in Escape from New York. He's got a huge list of stuff here. I mean, back into the 50s and 60s. But Foxy Brown, The Towering Inferno, he did stunts in Mitchell.
Ah, the Martha Mitchell story.
And Going Ape. And I was like,
man,
that's where I
Going Ape.
Exactly.
Why does that keep coming up?
Why were there stunts in Going Ape? He did stunts in Sword and the Sorcerer.
Oh, cool.
This is the kind of trail that I was going down before we started this morning.
This is the gold right here that we've been mining around for.
Roy Don Clark also did stunts for The Burbs. Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. Ghostbusters 2.
Does he have a picture on his IMDb?
He looks plain.
Okay, I'm going to look him up too. I wonder if him and Joe Don Baker hung out a lot.
Maybe.
They both have 3 names.
No, Roy Don's one name.
Oh, is it really?
Just like Gray Don is one name.
Are you kidding me?
That's why I thought that
there has to be something.
There has to be. They have to be cousins or something.
Right.
Maybe kissing cousins. I'm not sure.
Oh. Now, wait a minute. That's got to be his brother.
You would think.
Because he looks just like him. Oh, man. What have we done here?
I tried to make a connection. I could not find it.
I feel like when we're done, we're going to solve a murder, is the way that I'm thinking about this.
But I had to share this with you because I just thought it was uncanny.
Yeah, that's real mystery that we're going to get to the bottom of.
But at least we know who did the stunts for Going Ape.
Okay, we get it. He had to wrestle a monkey at some point.
That's it. Which may or may not have been Danny DeVito himself. I'm not an ape.
I think Danny DeVito would be into it.
Okay, I'm an ape.
That's it.
All right. So that's about all I have.
What? All you've done is just... We have more questions now than when you're done.
Exactly. All right. Back to the film now. I'm at 31:22.
The girl is running through the woods for some reason. What happened previous to that?
Well, they finally get the van started after the keys are found above the visor.
Which he should have looked there anyway, but moviedom and even like books and stuff, it has never occurred to me to put the keys in the... Have you ever done that?
Nope.
In any vehicle you've ever had?
Nope.
Well, it happens all the time in fiction.
All the time.
He still fumbled around for a long time before even thinking about it.
And I think when I was watching this, he didn't even turn the key or have the key inserted before the engine started revving.
He's like a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's in the bar.
Yes, he goes into the bar. He tells her to stay in the van.
Right.
You're safer in here, not where there's a lot of people.
Right. This date is not going well for these two.
Which the outside of the bar is deserted. There are no lights.
No lights. No nothing.
But they get inside and it is packed.
Yeah, David Crosby's there with a big cowboy hat on.
There are more people in this bar
There's like 15
than
people.
the rest of the cast.
Yes, exactly.
And 90% of them have no speaking parts. So why are they even in the cast?
That guy that is sitting behind Neville Brand, he kind of looks like Emmett, like a skinny Emmett Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
Just the look on his face, that's like his resting bitch face kind of, is hilarious to me.
Or there it is, Ralph Meeker.
Yeah.
Ralph Meeker is the one that has the line.
Okay.
This was his last film.
It kind of looks like Rick Baker is the guy with the big, like, the version of a, like, MAGA hat in the background.
Kinda.
But then again, everybody has, like, slightly long, like, 8 is enough hair, and it's hard to tell one from another.
The girl is Sue Ann Langdon, the bartender.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I looked her up. Was she been in?
She's been in UHF. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She was in Zapped and Zapped again. She played the same character.
You've got to do that series of movies.
But anyway, he comes in kind of hot and fast.
Yeah.
But
he's having an emotional breakdown.
He's not getting his story over to anybody. No. Everybody's just looking at him like,
can you sell it for us?
Yeah.
Come on. Really? I mean,
it's kind of strange.
It is very strange.
I did want to read here from Neville Brand's trivia.
Oh my God. Uh-huh.
It actually said that he was a teetotaler.
Mm-hmm.
Not a drinker. I think maybe he had drinking problems.
Oh, that's what happened to his face.
Yes. Oh my gosh, he's got so many crevices.
His profile picture, though?
It does not look like him at all.
It doesn't look like him at all. Also, I don't know how it's possible, but he was uglier then than he is now. And that's saying something.
Later, it seems like he's wearing lipstick. I think everybody.
Oh, that just made my stomach flip over.
It's in Great on Clark's trivia. The beer on the set of Clark's movies
was his own urine.
Close. It's always apple juice and seltzer with foam to make it look like beer.
That is funny watching him drink it. And yeah, it doesn't fit. He looks like he's drunk as shit.
Well, he says Neville Brand was concerned about doing bar scenes in Clark's High Riders, having struggled with alcoholism himself, was reassured by Clark that there was never any alcohol on his sets. Cocaine?
Yeah.
Plentiful.
You might want to look at Jack Palance's, I'm not going to say trailer. I want to look in the back of his Lincoln Continental. There's just empty beer cans.
He always travels with at least 6 flasks.
Yeah. If you told me that he was paid in booze for this movie, I would believe you.
So the girl is sitting in the van and she hears something or sees something, and that's when she gets out and runs away from people.
Right.
She runs into the woods, which is the total opposite direction she should be running.
No, that's where the danger is. We've already proven that.
And she runs straight into the danger when she runs into the arms of Jack Palance,
who, of course, is just out in the woods.
Him bringing her into the bar, carrying her in there, and she's totally passed out.
He's like, I think this is yours.
I got your girlfriend. Yeah. She might be pregnant now.
With like a possum. Yeah. She ran into the woods. He happened to be in the woods. But it looks like he was taking a shortcut to get to the bar anyway.
Yes, he was definitely headed to the bar.
Definitely headed to the bar. There's only 2 things to do in this town. Go shoot rats down by the old creek and go to this bar.
I swear Martin Landau must have pinned his mud flaps on his eyes open or something. He's got the widest eyes throughout this entire film.
And thanks to Graydon, the camera is parked about 2 inches away from his face at all times. His face fills up the screen in a lot of the scenes that he's in.
A whole lot of nothing going on in this bar as we're waiting for the lights to go out.
I kind of missed what all happens here, but are we assuming that the alien cut the power?
It doesn't say. They don't follow up on any of that.
Okay. Oh my God. Hang on just a second. I just want to say this one thing. Neville Brand was like a thug or something in an episode of Beretta.
Okay.
And his name is Shopping Bag. So.
I love it. I love it. That is my new Halloween character I'm going as.
Yeah, Shopping Bag.
Maybe because of his face?
But Martin Landau is the only one acting in this movie. He is the only thing that's kind of pushing along the rickety plot.
They establish that he has a gun.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they called the sheriff. But the lights are out. That's why the electricity went out, because they didn't want you to be able to see the sheriff walking in as his hat kind of appears to look like an alien head.
I was very confused by that, because it is clearly the sheriff.
The door opens up, and he just immediately just shoots him.
Classic.
It was hilarious.
Like Harrison Ford. This is why everybody treats you like that, Sarge. You're fucking crazy. You're on a hair trigger. I don't know what's up with your hair.
And they don't even list who is playing the sheriff.
The sheriff is probably Graydon Clark.
Maybe so.
All right, me, I'm going to need you to walk in here and just fall down. All the older men in this straight up look like those spitting image puppets from that freaking that Genesis video. Remember that Genesis video?
Yes.
That's where they got the idea for that.
I promised myself I wasn't going to sing Landau Shot the Sheriff.
Mm-hmm. But you're going to anyway?
No, I'm just going to leave it right there.
I think that was Jerry Falwell that was dressed as the sheriff.
I did want to say that if you look up Tara Nutter, it says her last credit was called Greg and Sandy's Alien Adventures.
The sequel to
this movie.
Without Warning.
It's a 21-minute short. I could not find anything about it whatsoever. It just says an interview with the 2 stars on the making of Graydon Clark's Without Warning.
Is stars in quotation marks?
You saw that, didn't you?
Yeah, I could hear it in your voice.
But it stars Christopher S. Nelson and Tara Nutter. I looked around. I couldn't find it anywhere. It says this featurette is included on Shout Factory's 2014 Blu-ray. So,
hey, have to take their word for it. The scene where Jack Palance takes the gun away from Sarge, he hands it to Neville Brand, who holds it on him, and then he kind of stands up straight and kind of straightens his jacket like, oh, that must have sounded crazy what I was just saying. And Jack Palance goes straight out and scrapes
one of those alien discs is on the railing?
Yeah, it's just sucking on like a 4x4 timber.
It's just strange. But he grabs Greg and says, why don't you show me where these aliens are?
You say a knife at them.
You say,
where's the shack?
He says, you know where this shack is?
It's a little old place where we can get together. Believe it or not.
That's good. That's awesome. Very good.
Believe it or not. Yeah, it has to really suck in that breath.
So, but they're driving along in the pitch dark in the truck, bouncing around into the woods.
Not giggling now, are you?
And Greg totally points out the shack that he has seen
there's the
one
shack.
time.
Uh-huh. That one time it was full of dead bodies.
I've only been here once, but I can point it out in the pitch black darkness.
That seems like a poor plan.
I guess I forgot to mention they stopped by Jack Palance's gas station. As he goes in...
Oh, and gets like...
He has a ready jar of formaldehyde.
Oh, that he puts the critter in?
Yeah.
Okay, weird.
And he kind of looks at it as it starts moving. It's still alive, and he has this wicked little smile on his face.
Yeah, like, we are going to have some this thing that sucked on my penis in a decade.
All right, I think you've gone too far.
I'm sorry, but...
We were all thinking it.
Yeah, he's definitely fucking those weird flying pancake things. Yeah, he does just have a jar of formaldehyde right there, or at least pickle juice.
I don't know why he was going. Did he go in there to get a gun or something as well?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think he wanted to. What's he going to do with that?
Saving it for his tourist attractions.
Yeah, this kind of feels like Tourist Trap a little bit.
So they tear off through the field. It looks like they're going through a field. I don't think there's a road.
Space and time in this movie are hard to get your head around.
When they're in the truck, he shows his arm and that nasty big scar.
Right.
Of where he may have been hurt by the alien discs. I don't know.
I mean, I guess he's just wily enough to kind of... He got it off of him in time or something?
Well, he obviously knows how to deal with them. He cuts him.
Yeah.
And he peels him off with a knife.
Right. Like a leech.
When he gets hit with one, and here in just a few minutes, in the leg, and he goes down like he was hit with a shotgun blast.
Like JFK.
And then he tries to get up and run away with it still on his leg. And it takes him a minute to finally say, okay, I guess I got to cut this one off too.
Yeah, like the other one.
I guess they don't just fall off after a while.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Rick Baker did not create that little prosthetic on his arm because it looks like crap.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, it looked awful. So far, this alien... We're going to assume it's an alien. He's actually done this town a favor. He's gotten rid of...
The pedophile scoutmaster.
He's gotten rid of the possible child killer, Cameron Mitchell. He's taken those blue shorts out of the picture, which I thank you for your service. But Naked Blonde...
We get to see everybody again in the shack when Jack Palance goes in there, right?
But all I'm saying is, so far, the alien is my favorite character, and I haven't even seen him on screen yet. If that tells you anything. While they're like walking around in the woods with Jack Palance, we talk about this. How long has this been going on? Because that thing on Jack Palance's arm is all healed up now.
It had been going on for years. Well, we don't see any other remnants of alien, or anything.
Any other movie, they would at least spend some money to add a crappy, spaceship coming in through the atmosphere. Like, it's the easiest thing they could have done is just give you some grasp on what's happening.
When Jack Palance when he opens up that shack, notice it's well lit on his face, and I'm pretty sure that's from the reflection off of David Caruso's ass.
We need something white in here that'll just kind of reflect. Oh, you're Irish or Scott or whatever.
Now I see that the girl's not topless. She's actually got a towel around her.
Well, for sure earlier, the camera was going down as far as it could without showing nipples. Oh my God, you do see his little chicken legs. Jack Palance, when he goes into the shed, it looks like he's about to sneeze and he can't quite get it. When you kind of look at a light or something, try to make yourself sneeze.
My wife said, is he having an orgasm?
Yeah, or like needs an inhaler or something. Yeah, and that shot, it does end on the girl, and then he's got this weird, like, what is that look? What is happening?
He's having an asthma attack. You are correct.
He's having an asthma attack and an orgasm at the same time. And has to sneeze.
All closely related.
I love in horror movies when, like, people with flashlights shine them directly into the faces of the people they're talking to.
Oh my God, he's blinding them.
Yeah.
He holds it on the girl for a good 10 seconds.
I know. And it cuts away and she's just blinking for like, can't see a goddamn thing.
He goes back to talk to them like, oh, the bodies are there, just like you said. Exposition.
I think he's having a stroke. It's just weird that Sarge and him are the only ones that give you any type of information. And they don't even do that very well. He did go down quick. It's like, okay, it kind of stings a little bit.
But no, he's full on paralysis. He's like, go, run, take my flashlight and
go on without me.
Don't go take the truck. Just run.
Yeah.
Run into town.
These are profoundly stupid people that this occurrence is happening to. If it wasn't for City Slickers, like, would he even... Well, no, he was super popular back then.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think, from just being the bad guy and everything.
Let's see. I didn't even look him up because it was just, you know...
Yeah, we knew everything.
127 credits on Jack Palance.
I would have thought more than that.
I would have thought that, too. He was in Convoy? Oh, the TV series. Sorry.
There was a TV series?
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
They just made series out of
everything. So anyway, this goes on for quite a while.
He cuts it first.
Yes.
Oh my God, there's a big old blood bubble.
If you listen to it, it actually goes... The blood bubble actually pops like Hubba Bubba. I laughed so hard.
It is kind of gross. I mean, it's not a good effect, but looks like they just took everything but the bun from a Carl's Jr. burger and just kind of like mushed it together. Oh, let's see that alien. I know he's just around the corner.
He's got to be nearby.
Yeah, how far away is he?
When he throws these things, though, it doesn't show him pulling them out of a pouch or anything. He's just frisbee tossing them.
Yeah. Is he using an underhand or overhand throw?
Yeah. But it would have been nice to see if, he had a pouch of these things. Are they part of him? I want to know more.
Right. That's what, like a marsupial type situation.
Yeah.
You also can kill those things by just hitting them a couple of times with a rifle butt.
He stomped on it after he pulled it off his leg. I guess it wasn't quite dead. The audience knows. When they see the car show up and it's the police car, it's a sheriff's car, we all know that it's Martin Landau driving the car.
Sure.
But they wait to show it. They keep on Greg and Sandy talking.
Right.
And just don't show who's driving. They just draw it out as long as possible.
Yeah, and the shot from in front is, I don't think it's Martin Landau. It's somebody else, and they've just got kind of a wig on and like their hat pulled over their face. That's a weird choice to make, though.
Okay, this is where time and space was really strange for me.
Okay.
Martin Landau picks them up.
Right.
In the meantime, Jack Palance gets back to his truck, drives back to his gas station for where he has a ready box of TNT.
Right.
He goes into the back and pulls out this box and runs back to the truck. It's already filled with everything he needs. Now we've got Palance going back to the shack, right?
Right. This whole town is like 1 mile in diameter.
Yes. And Landau, is he just driving around, wasting time to get back to the shack? They're all just trying to get back to the shack, correct?
I guess that's where everybody's going to meet up for the finale. Martin Landau's just talking to himself.
Yeah, he's not even talking
God
to them.
knows what. His eyebrows are bristling. Wait a minute. I missed something. Now the kids are out of the car and Martin Landau looking like he's going to mow them down.
Yes.
Did they escape?
So why did he stop the car?
He's got a gun on him now, which you thought he was just kind of a local crazy guy, but harmless, although he did kill the sheriff. Let's not forget that Martin Landau in this movie shoots it could not have been more clear. If you showed that to a 5-year-old, they would have said that it was a police officer.
And then stole his car.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he stops the car and gets them out and holds them at gunpoint.
Yeah, like he's going to fucking execute them in the woods or something.
Martin Landau goes total nutso, thinking that they are the aliens in disguise.
He's got a lot of problems.
Yes. Greg plays it off because he's like, okay, maybe this is our chance. Somebody say, yes, okay, we are the aliens. And Martin Landau's like, I knew it.
That one line confused me so much because then he starts explaining things to him, like making up all of this stuff.
And Landau's buying it. He gets down on the ground and starts drawing it out in the dirt.
Yes.
You and I both, I'm sure, knew that he was just going to grab a handful of dirt and throw it in his face.
Right. Of course. Classic move.
He doesn't do that. He bum rushes him and just knocks him down.
And this guy, I hate to keep on saying this, but he is more loathsome to me than I think the kid in The Beast Within. I mean, I really am having a hard reaction.
See, I was getting ready to bring up The Beast Within.
This movie is pretty Beast Within-ish.
They run away from Landau and they make their way to a house.
Mm-hmm.
And that house, to me, I was like, dude, that's the Kerwin house.
Right.
There is a cicada locked up in the basement.
Cicada being. Yeah, exactly.
But no, Landau chases them down with the car. And they're on a bridge.
Yeah.
So they have no place to go. This is probably the only time that this has ever worked.
He is firing at them. I mean, if you thought that for a second that he was just, he's trying to kill these kids.
They're the aliens.
Yeah.
But they jump off this bridge, which is way taller than it looked. But they jumped off the bridge.
Yeah.
And I told my wife when that happened, I'm like, all right, straight into that shallow stream. This is going to be awesome. You just hear a thud.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Their legs are have punched through their lungs at this point.
But Landau starts shooting at them while they're in the water. There is a straight up ricochet shot.
Yeah. In the water.
So Greg and Sandy, they run away and they find the Kerwin house.
Right.
It's not like they try the windows or anything. They don't even go, I guess it's the basement that's ground level. They actually go upstairs and break into this house. And which they're like, he's like, oh, this must be somebody's summer cottage.
What? There's no windows. I mean...
He says something like that, but there's a cat inside. When the cat appears, normally in horror movies, you have this cat that's just thrown in and you hear the normal screeching of the cat.
Right.
This sounds like a gaggle of cats coming towards him.
Like a cat with its tail tied to another cat and they're fighting.
It's so strange.
And also, that cat is only alive because it's been eating its master that's in the upper story. So, it's real grim at this summer cottage. I would not go in that building for anything.
So, she's got a sprained ankle.
They have a laugh about the cat. They're having a real roller coaster of emotions. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're laughing like euphorically, like they're on drugs. That would actually explain a lot of this movie. They just give you 2 scenes of these two just sparking a joint before they
doing whippets.
Yeah, exactly. The girl is definitely on something.
They immediately go in and start stealing these people's clothes.
Someone obviously lives there, and she is charmed that he is breaking it. She's laughing. I think he's really making a good impression on her.
In this scene, they're acting like nothing bad has happened. That they haven't seen the sheriff gunned down.
He's like, when we leave, we should just tie our legs together so it's easier to run.
She puts on a flannel shirt and looks at the plant, and she picks up like this little music box. It's sitting on top of a book that says World of Pooh.
No way.
It's Pooh as in Winnie the Pooh, but it says World of Pooh.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that before.
I'm going to be looking for that. They are wearing the weirdest clothes.
I mean, this is barely 1980. So, we can expect the bell bottoms. But she has some exposition when she's talking about this music box, and I think she's finally realized that her friends are dead. And so she's starting to have a little breakdown.
She's been having a breakdown, but there's been too much going on for her to
she's been distracted.
Process all. Yeah. World of Pooh, I see it. Do you think they did that on purpose? He's like, Great Aunt Clark's like, I know my movies are shit. I'm going to telegraph them.
That's it. So, but he puts her in bed, tells her to relax. He said he's going to make a pot of coffee and stay awake, right?
Seems like a good plan.
In any other horror movie in the 1980s, they would be having sex.
Right. They do have a very weird relationship. He kisses her lightly on the forehead.
And he tells her to undo her braids. It's just strange.
Weird. Okay. And they are in someone else's house whom they do not know.
Right.
Let's just get comfortable.
He's raiding the fridge. The milk doesn't have a cap on it. And he sniffs it. And, okay, I guess it is bad. He's pouring it out. Well, it didn't have a cap on it. What'd you expect?
Gross. I feel like this is in a lot of movies, though, where they do just go into another house, like they fucking live there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obvious that there has been people there recently. I'm thinking Jack Palance needs to move into this place, get out of that little one room.
Yes.
Behind the cash register.
This scene goes on for quite a while.
She has a 4-second nightmare.
They see the doors open.
He walks out of the room and you see kind of a shadow with like a bulbous head.
Do we?
But it's hard because he's got a bulbous head too.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a little shadow work going on.
Come on, movie. Get on with it.
Yeah, let's see something.
The alien could have killed them so easily in any of these scenes.
Any of them.
Now he's just toying with them.
That's what I'm thinking. He's doing now. It's the thrill of the hunt for this guy. He's like a predator.
And that's what they mentioned that in the trivia thing too, that he's collecting
kind of a precursor.
Yeah, he's collecting trophies and not necessarily for food.
Interesting. I like that.
But David Caruso is a trophy?
Just his little shorts. Just frame his little shorts on their spaceship. Oh, it's so upsetting.
But they have a whole little conversation about this water still running in the coffee pot. I'm sure I turned this water off. It's the longest scene ever. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah, she gives him a fake scare.
Yes.
All they needed to do was shut that door and get on with it.
I still don't understand the title, Without Warning.
Yeah, I don't either.
There was an alternate title that was It Came Without Warning.
That doesn't really...
It doesn't give you anything.
No. But like I said, I think if they had just added just anything. I kind of like it that it was just happened all in one day, But then Jack Palance and them screw all that up by saying that, does the alien just like hang out in the woods?
Well, they mentioned at the beginning that I wouldn't go to that lake. Strange things. People missing.
And meanwhile, Jack Palance is just saying that because he poops in the river every once in a while.
Don't drink the water like Hubba Hubba did.
Yeah. Did he have a name?
Hubba Hubba? Yeah, sure. Randy.
Yeah, of course.
So they go back into the bedroom after they've been looking around the house and The closet, the door is kind of ajar.
It's wall-to-wall flannel, too.
He grabs the lamp. We talked about this, using lamps as a weapon.
Right.
So he's sitting down in a chair, staring at a wall, drinking a cup of coffee, the weirdest, like he's never had a cup of coffee before in his life. Just kind of holding it up and sipping on it. But he's supposed to be protecting her by, and keeping a lookout. Why is he staring at the wall?
I think he's been like keeping it together for her, but he is seriously like fucking scarred by the things he's seen.
I think you're right.
She has another nightmare in like 3 seconds. Basically, every time she closes her eyes, she's like, oh.
Night terrors, ma'am.
Stay up. Make yourself a cup of coffee. Braid your hair.
So here we go. So she comes out. She's calling for Greg, and he's in that chair. There's a total Dr. Mixter point where she spins him around, but instead of having a syringe in his eye or his temple, he's got a space sucker
alien thing.
We have a good name for those? What are they?
Space sucker.
Space sucker? I like them.
Sort of like a face hugger.
Right. Okay.
But it's kind of hugging your face like an awkward aunt at a family reunion. You get one little flash of the creature that we all knew was lurking. They just didn't quite have enough money to...
But why not? I mean...
It's a costume. Are they paying Kevin, what's-his-face, so much that they can only have him...
They could have had anybody in that costume.
Right, exactly. They could have had 2 kids on each other's shoulders and a trench coat. This movie would be so much better if they showed him more.
He reaches forward. That's why I was thinking that maybe he was trying to do a telekinetic thing as he reaches forward and kind of screams at her, and she runs away and hits the lamp, that swinging light. The alien stops that light from swinging.
Like it's annoyed.
Before we cut to outside, it's like, oh, I can't take this. I
cannot take the noise that thing's making. I mean, that is cool when his arm comes through the window of, like I said, the geography is weird. I don't know where she's at.
She ran outside, but then she went in the basement, which is the ground level of this house.
Okay.
Which is almost a smart thing to do because, earlier when she ran away from the vehicle, she didn't run into the bar. She ran into the woods.
Right.
I think she was kind of thinking right here is like, oh shit, I tried this before. What happened? I ran into a Jack Palance.
Yeah, she's learning and adapting.
I'm safer inside this house. It doubles back and hides and sees the alien walking outside the window, which is kind of cool, kind of creepy.
I like it when he reaches in because his arm is so long.
Yes.
It looks very alien and creepy. And now I'm wondering if that is a wig on Jack. Because that thing...
Staying put?
Yeah, it's bouncing and behaving.
She escaping from this basement thing through the smallest door I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She's just trying to make it to the window, and that's where Jack Palance just breaks the window out and starts shooting at the alien.
Fires a gun right by her head. Now Jack Palance has got her in the woods. He is practically giddy with excitement that he's planned all this out and is finally going to trap this thing.
They stop several times running through the woods so he can tell her what's going on.
Right.
And us, but...
Yes, because it's hard.
But they should keep running. There's time for this later.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, if he was giddy because he was thinking about using her as bait.
That's exactly what I thought he was going to say to her. Was that, you finally helped me draw him, in. So Jack Palance and Martin Landau, are they basically playing the same character?
Kinda.
You don't need both of them. They're serving the same purpose. They're giving you some exposition, and they're like the kind of Van Helsing of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But just dumber and, obviously drunk.
When Jack Palance was shooting the alien, in that
Yeah.
close quarter, he was staring through that scope.
Right. Yes. Which is, yeah, it's like looking at something like 70 yards away.
But it was like 6 feet.
Right. I don't know. And then if you really look at the rifle, it looks very weird. Something's going. I think it's just they made it out of styrofoam or something.
So he set up dynamite
Yeah.
outside of the shack. You know the alien's going to go in the shack to quote unquote feed. Why did you leave the TNT out?
I mean, you assume the alien is not an idiot, you know?
Most likely, at least in this town, of higher intelligence.
Yes, in this town.
I did air quotes like 6 times. I didn't know where they belonged. I was just trying to cover myself.
You could probably do that for a lot of the things that we've assumed in this movie.
So now Landau and Palance are having a crag off.
Yeah.
They're both arguing at each other about who's going to kill the alien, and they start scuffling. Palance rushes him.
While yelling at him.
And he had to take like 5 or 6 steps to get to him.
Yeah.
Landau shot that sheriff with no hesitation.
Yes, directly in the heart, killing him instantly.
Palance takes 20 yards to get to him, and he can't shoot him. So they scuffle a little bit, and we finally get to see the alien full on.
Yeah, looks like he's wearing a net from like Red Lobster or something over him.
Yeah, it looks comfy. It's a shawl.
His is the only outfit in the movie that makes any sense.
But you've got Kevin Peter Hall.
Yeah.
A big, tall guy.
Yeah.
Playing an alien. That the alien, when we see him in many of the shots, is just standing still.
Doesn't do anything. Doesn't even move his arms.
Mm-mm.
And the makeup looks pretty cool. I mean, that's basically why you're watching the movie, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the reveal of this thing at the end. He shoots him, and it's like me peeing after I drink a lot of beer.
It's so funny. It's just
urine.
Pours out the side of the... Jack Palance just shot him with a rifle many times.
Right.
But I guess Landau shoots him in the bladder that's on his shoulder.
Yeah, that's on his shoulder bladder. Also, his head is huge.
Huge.
Take 3 seconds and you've got a giant scope on that thing. There is no way that you could miss. The girl could shoot him in the head. Seems like having a huge... I mean, I guess you're meant to think it has a giant brain, you know?
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
But that just seems like a design flaw to give everybody something to aim at.
It resembles Star Trek series.
Yeah, a little. Yeah. Well, and it looks like a gray, you know, like a regular, what we think of. And it's cool makeup, you know, or a cool mask. I've felt like that before where you just can't scratch the right, like in between your shoulder blades. So you grab a Bowie knife to do it.
So Landau goes down. He has 2 suckers on him. Palance, from the direction of the girl of braids, to shoot the alien.
Yes.
And he's like, well, it didn't do anything before.
All right. Let me try this one again.
When he shoots him in the shoulder bladder, it takes a good 3 seconds for that fluid to start pouring out.
Yeah. And then it's done. It's like, well, that was all that was in
Well,
that
he
one.
puts his hand over it like I healed myself.
Right, like the Predator.
Yeah. So Palance gets one to his shoulder. This is the point that I remember as a kid watching it, that he cut one of them, the alien saucers. What are we calling them again?
They're like
Potholders?
Yes. That's what they look like, kind of.
They're alien doilies.
Yeah.
But he peels it off of himself and throws it back at the alien.
Throws it at the alien.
I love it, man.
Yeah. It's like when a gun runs out of bullets and you just throw the gun.
But I see what you're saying. He gets another alien doily to the back and he can't cut it off. He doesn't ask her to cut it off of him.
Right, just a little to the right. There, that's it.
Instead, he runs kind of like Torgo towards the alien.
Willy-nilly is what I've...
That's what you wrote down? That's
what I described that as.
My only note in the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
Willy-nilly. But you would think he would have tackled the alien or pushed him towards the... No, he runs towards the shack saying, "Come here, get me, alien."
Right. I think he wants to be probed. I think that's what this is all about.
She tries the plunger, but I guess Jack tripped over the wire, unplugged it.
He is not good at this. Yeah. How she knew to do that, how she knew to wrap that thing around, I have no idea.
To reconnect the wire, she must have watched a lot of cartoons, man.
Yeah.
All Bugs Bunny.
If there's anything we've learned in watching these movies is it's not going to work the first time.
Yes.
They didn't build up much tension. It worked finally about 4 seconds later.
Jack Palance, he just kind of falls down and grabs the alien by the leg. Kind of like, your niece or whatever that doesn't want you to leave after you've, at Christmas time, holding on to your legs and just so she could reconnect the wire and blow it up in true Commando fashion, because you can almost see the 2x4s holding up the fake alien.
Yeah.
As it's standing there.
Yeah. But, granted, it was just standing there before, so it hasn't really changed.
After the shack explodes, destroys the alien, you see a shot of the alien head and or mask burning in true Halloween 2 fashion.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I did like when it kind of hissed,
It was an elephant roar.
Oh, well, see, I'm not even listening to that. It was like a very
yes,
public domain noise that they could use.
Yes, it's actually in the trivia.
Oh, okay, it really was. Graydon Clark, you should be ashamed of yourself.
This is the 5th and final cinematic collaboration between Graydon Clark and cinematographer Dean Cundy.
Dean Cundy was like, Graydon, you owe me $2,000, but I'm not even going to bother with it. I never want to see you again. Goodbye. Well, I can't really say it was badly shot.
Mm-hmm. Today, they would have just bounced it all around to make it show more action, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of quick cuts to...
In the trivia here, just before it gets blown up, the only sound the alien makes is identical to that of an elephant roar.
Identical to?
Identical.
So was there someone just going... or... Don't say identical, say it was a elephant. You know what I mean? Like, did they try to recreate it somehow? There's a lot of... you could find that little wave file anywhere.
Anywhere.
Watch Operation Dumbo Drop and just record it with your,
So they end the film just on a shot of what could be a galaxy or stars or whatever.
Oh, right? Yeah, and have some stupid, are we the only,
If you think this is a fictitious account, be warned, we are not alone.
Wake up, sheeple. I don't think I speak for you. I mean, you do have fondness for this movie. I think that is the crappiest movie that we've done so far.
Oh, you think?
I'm positive. Man, Jack Palance at this time was just really...
Nah, he wanted the money. He wanted his 36.
I guess you're right. I guess he's a working,
Mm-hmm.
Well, Graydon, once again, you have...
Yep, you have fouled up another...
Gray Dawn. But good.
I do enjoy this. Had you seen this before?
No, this is the first time I've
really?
Ever seen. I've seen the cover of it a million times. But like you said, it's been unavailable.
Which the alien is on the cover, is it not?
Yeah, well, there's a Photoshop kind of... His shape is like the outline for the... there's a Friday the 13th cover that's very similar, where his shape is the frame for the...
You see the van, which is not...
Right.
On the cover as red.
It's an awesome cover.
But you get to see the alien head. I mean, they
Yeah. They're a little too coy with it.
I think they could have done a little bit more with the alien. I think they could have.
Yeah.
The tagline, it preys on human fear. It feeds on human flesh.
Okay. If there's one thing that I have learned from this experience is that there is no way there's a guy named Graydon Clark and a guy named Roy Don Clark, and they are not somehow...
I am going to get to the bottom of this.
Related.
They have to be.
Next episode,
we will either get to the bottom of it or we will neglect to mention it whatsoever.
Completely forget about it and go on with our lives.
We can only hope. But Graydon had to have just connections. He got his friends to come in here. So Neville Brand, what did he bring to this?
I don't know.
He was in the bar holding a glass of beer.
There could have been one character that could have done all the things that they had 3 different actors doing. What would have been in a normal movie like this is Neville Brand is like, there's no fucking aliens, like the negative guy, and then they form like a posse or something, get out in the woods, and Neville Brand's like, oh shit, this thing's fucking for real, and then he gets killed.
They could have killed off everybody in the bar.
Everybody in that bar should have died.
Yes.
When the power went out, one of them, or whoever, Martin Landau, Jack Palance, and the girl escape, but narrowly because the alien comes in and fucking, sucks everybody's brains out or something. That would have been much.
I dig that.
Or just throws some tables around,
Yeah.
Mix it up.
I am with you. I think that would have made a better movie. It really would have.
Like the jail scene in
The Beast Within.
The Beast Within. I mean, that's fucking intense, That's just one room with some guys in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also weird that Rick Baker was on this. Like, I mean, I guess maybe he was still in training, But it seems like special effects in this were awful, too. But then it's possible they just didn't have a lot of money.
They didn't. They spent it all on Palance and Landau.
And just another reason to get rid of those guys and use more of that money for special effects.
They could have. I agree.
Okay, so there is something called joysticks.
Yes.
Have we talked about this before?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we did watch a little bit of...
You want to start over the podcast right now and watch joysticks?
I don't know. I don't know. Why were we watching... Dang, I can't... I mean, it was something for this. I don't even remember.
It was because it's Mitchell. It's Joe Don Baker.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Graydon Clark directed it. Joe Don Baker.
Roy Don Clark was probably there somewhere.
And John Grise is in this. That's how we got... Remember, we got to Joe Don Baker to get to John Grise to get to TerrorVision for our second film. Man.
This podcast is exhausting.
It is. And Logan Ramsey is in Joysticks.
Okay.
Just as
always
rounded
keep
out.
an eye on. So, I have seen a lot of Graydon Clark's movies.
On purpose.
But he has like a Charlie's Angels ripoff called Angel's Revenge.
Mm-hmm.
His wife is one of the titular angels, and I pronounce the tit because that's the only reason you're watching it, is they have skin tight like jumpsuits on.
Angel's Revenge or Angel's Brigade?
I know it is Angel's Revenge, but I think it's
the same thing. Yeah. If you click on Angel's Brigade, it says Angel's Revenge on the box art.
Graydon Clark's wife is in that as basically the head, the main angel. And that's it. That's all I know is that
Angel's Revenge also has Jack Palance.
Yeah, right. And
also has Neville Brand. But
really?
Jim Backus and Alan Hill Jr. in it too.
Oh, turning in some loathsome performances. They're awful.
Down here at the bottom, you have Darby Hinton, who played Randy in Without
Oh
Warning.
my God, I know who he is. His name's Styx. He's like a drug dealer.
That's it. So you've come full circle.
I don't know. I need to go lay down for a little bit. This one really took it out of me.
Good stuff. Oh, Jim Backus.
If you have any shred of, like, if you liked him in Gilligan's Island, or as, you know, he's Mr. Magoo, right?
Play Mr. Magoo, yeah.
If you have fond memories of him, don't watch it.
Don't watch it. Okay.
It's real. And that's the last movie he did.
Wow.
So, it's not great.
I was looking at Black Shampoo,
Mm-hmm.
which was Graydon Clark's like third film.
I'm interested in watching these earlier ones of his to see if there's any way to...
But it reads, a black hairstylist has sex with female customers and tries to keep the mafia from taking over his business. He's bad, he's mean, he's a loving machine. Black Shampoo.
Okay.
It's an action comedy crime.
That does not sound like...
So, but he did Satan's Cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm. I get lost with all the Satan's movies. I'm sure I've seen that, but...
Everybody was doing Satan's movies back then.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. I clicked on the High Riders, which that was another one that also has Darby Hinton, Neville Brand, Ralph Meeker, who was in as well.
I guess all these guys just like went to key parties when they were...
I guess so.
There's a movie called The Forbidden Dance, but, you know, to me...
Wasn't that La Lambada?
Lambada?
Yeah.
So
That's the same movie, right?
No. It is another shameless ripoff, isn't it?
I don't know. Let me type it in. That was 1990.
I wish I hadn't set us down this road.
No, there is 1990. There was a Lambada movie, but who did Joe Silberg did that.
That's the movie.
That's the real one.
This one is just
Wow.
called, and the cast is crazy. Sid Haig and Richard Lynch are in it, so you know it's going to be sexy and romantic and stuff. God, it literally is like Graydon Clark. It just finds people that are kind of like down on their luck, and it's like, okay, well,
Hey, you still want to be an actress?
yeah, it's just a ripoff of Lambada.
Mm-hmm.
If you told me at the beginning of this day that I would be saying Lambada like 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Mm-hmm. On this one, though, The Forbidden Dance, Menahem Golan wrote it. It's a story, anyway.
Right. So
he probably said, hey, I got an idea. Yeah. I saw this other movie being made. You want to make it?
Right. Just walk by.
I saw them filming a better movie around the corner here.
I think it's just cocaine. That's the only thing that I can think is that at this time, there's just everyone was on all the drugs all the time.
In 1992, Graydon Clark did Dance Macabre with Robert Englund.
Okay.
Never seen this.
Is it like short stories or?
I don't think so. A dance instructor brings his dance troupe to Russia for training. What his dancers don't know, however, is that he has a dual personality, and a hidden personality is a serial killer.
It's a weird way to phrase that.
Yeah. Graydon Clark quit doing films.
Mm-hmm.
His last film was 1998.
Thank God.
So did they finally just blackball him out of
maybe
Hollywood?
Yeah.
I mean, he's now 77 years old. We can only hope he has nothing left in the tank.
I really was searching for something like positive to say about Graydon Clark, but
you got nothing.
And just
how about The Return, 1980?
Yeah, I saw that earlier. What is that all about?
Two young children and an adult in a small town have an encounter with an alien spaceship. 25 years later, the children, one of whom is now a local sheriff, are reunited as adults in the... I'm done reading it.
One of the children is the sheriff? I think that's really irresponsible.
Which stars Jan Michael Vincent, Sybil Shepherd, Martin Landau, Neville Brand, Vincent Scavelli.
Yeah, wait a minute. Didn't we watch this?
Not for this.
I have seen this movie recently.
Oh my God. Why?
I don't know. I think I went down a little freaking hole when we were...
Of despair?
This is so weird. Yeah, I have watched this movie recently, and I could not tell you why.
It got a 3.6 out of 10 stars on IMDb.
It wasn't good.
I don't think so. I remember seeing the box for Skinheads, though.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't really remember that one.
I remember seeing it on the shelf, but I've never seen it as well. Chuck Connors, Barbara Bain.
It's like Graydon Clark sought out just the ugliest faces that he like a Mount Rushmore of ugly faces to be in his movies. Well,
all right.
I think we did it.
I think we've said all there is to say about flying hairy pancakes.
Yes. Ugh. Why did they have little tufts of hair on top of it?
I don't.
Like a topping.
To distract you from seeing the string that they were held on?
I guess so. It's like, hey, what do we got around here? Yeah, just cut that beard up that we were going to make Martin Landau wear. And stick it on top of it. I don't care anymore.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, bad movie, but I had fun talking about it.
All right, as we always do.
Yeah.
All right, do you have anything else to add?
No.
Please check out our website. Buy some merch.
Yeah.
What else we got? Check us out on social media. Twitter, Facebook. I post something at least every day on Facebook that pertains to the film that we're watching. Yeah, sometimes I have a hard time, finding stuff, but
trying to find the positivity.
There is no positivity,
right?
But I can't wait to break this down a little bit further. Maybe we can get to the bottom of something.
We'll definitely explore the possible link between Graydon Clark and Roydon Clark, which is the only thing that I'm taking away from this episode.
That is my life mission now.
Goal in life is to finally solve this.
I know that everybody is on this case.
Yeah, I know. I think by the time we're done, we are going to solve a murder. It's the only thing that the only way this is ending. That's right. So.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Okay, let's do it. Bye, guys. That was Without Warning.
It's a way to say it with conviction.
Greasy tortillas with hair.
All right, until next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You've been listening to The Moratorium, an MT Cornfield production. For more fun and stupidity, stay tuned. Next week, Jason and I break down this 1980 late-night sci-fi horror classic, and then take a peek into some interesting careers of a few character actors. We will also continue our quest in the new segment aptly named The Goratorium. Check out our website for everything Moratorium, including movie links, movie reviews, merch, and more. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, then rinse and repeat. We appreciate your support. If you have any movie suggestions, or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS.
Hubba hubba boy, let's get on with it.